Hey, welcome to Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. That's right, we are back. And this is our farewell tour season. This is our 25th year on the air. And now we are wrapping it up because we're old and tired. Just like the rock stars that we adore and follow. Everyone's having a farewell tour. So we figured, all right, we'll do a farewell tour too. Final season. We're going to do all the way up through Memorial Day, right before Memorial Day. Wrap this up, and we're going to have a big extravaganza like you've never seen before, right? Cha-Cha.
Right.
And of course, I got with me Cha-Cha, Gina, and Bello, the best crew of them all. Yeah. Let's hear it for ourselves.
Yay!
Good job. This is...
happy to be back.
Yeah, so this season, we're going to do nothing but classics. And right out of the bat, we're going to do one of the greatest albums ever recorded, of course, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John, or Sir Elton John, as you would call him, Stephen.
Yes, that's usually what I call him.
Exactly. So,
sir.
it was the last time we were here, it was right before Memorial Day, right? We were all together, and it just went like that the entire summer.
Boo.
It was a hot, disgusting, sweaty summer.
Ridiculous.
And
it was cooler in Florida.
Exactly. I felt like this is how I described it, because my band had a lot of outdoor gigs, and it was humid and hot. It felt like I was in a wet diaper the entire summer. It was horrible.
Oh, God.
I almost died. The last gig, we played on a Friday night, and then we had a gig Saturday afternoon, and it was like 95 and humid.
Awful.
And we're outside,
Us
and
too.
it was just, I couldn't wait for it to be over. But now I'm longing for Christmas and my boots and jeans season, as Cha-Cha calls
If
it.
we ever get fall weather.
Oh, I know.
Right. So what do you guys want to talk about? It's been, anything exciting happened to you guys over the summer that we need to recap? Bello, anything exciting that you need to recap? Don't make it boring, though. Make it exciting, or I'm just going to cut it out.
He doesn't know how to be boring.
I was very disappointed. I'll tell you something that happened to me.
Yes, what's that?
I found out cockfighting was done with roosters. 6 months of training down the drain, Dennis.
Oh, no. That's awful.
Ah, there we go.
Oh,
See?
he's coming in strong.
Bello's been saving that since Memorial Day, right? He had that in his pocket since Memorial Day. Get it?
Get it?
All right. So, Gina, can you top that one, Gina?
Not necessarily cockfighting. I was in Disney.
There you go.
Very
Speaking
nice.
of cockfighting.
Yeah, right.
And there's one thing that I noticed that I learned this summer about Cha-Cha. That Cha-Cha does not believe in expiration dates. And I'm not talking about...
What are you talking
I'm going to
about?
explain. I'm not talking about like Tylenol when it's 2 days old or medication like that. I'm talking about dairy. I'm talking about milk. I'm talking about yogurt.
Listen.
And this is how I found out, because as I bring yogurt to lunch for the lunch sometimes, I open up the package and it doesn't smell right. I see the date.
such
It
a
was
liar.
a month old. Yogurt. That's how you get botulism. And she, even when I showed her, I took a picture and showed it to her, and she said, don't worry about it.
It's still good.
Exactly.
No, it wasn't a month.
All right, it was 3.5 weeks.
No, it expired on the 13th. You had it on the 14th.
Yes, no, but it was the other month. That's what you don't.
It wasn't the other
All right,
month.
hold on. Now I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and I know why you're like this. Because
Why?
back in the day, your father had a bodega in New York.
He didn't have a bodega.
Exactly, he did. It was a bodega.
It was
Whatever.
an Italian deli.
I call it a bodega.
Well, you'd be
Tomato,
wrong.
tomato. Anyway, Cha-Cha, as a little girl, worked in the bodega, and she would say, "Papa, the meat is expired." And he says, "It's only 2 weeks old. Change the date, put it out there."
You could sell it.
Exactly. We can still sell it. Don't worry. What's the worst can happen?
Oh, my
And
God.
needless to say, there was that incident when 3 people in Queens died. It was chased back to some bad meat in the can.
This is fake news.
That reminds me of
Fake news.
that time.
fake
Steven, doesn't
news.
this remind you of that time Michael Jackson got sick? When he had that 9-year-old wiener? Get it?
I got it. But I will say, you like to throw out sour cream.
I like to throw out anything.
I don't understand why you would throw out sour cream.
I believe in.
It's already sour.
Listen, I believe in expiration dates.
That's true.
I have not lived through the Depression. I I'm at
cut
a
napkins in half.
Oh my
What my
God.
grandmother did.
And reuse
Exactly.
the tinfoil?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, but I've
Yeah, my
elevated
Aunt Ro-
myself to such a place that I no longer have to eat expired
Yeah,
food.
that's true. Right?
I'm willing to throw out the
And
$1.79.
And where is that place?
right here, right now, where I can waste $1.79 and get fresh
You wish
yogurt
$1.79.
and whatever. I just showed Gina. There's a carton of milk in the refrigerator dated September 19th.
I
That's
didn't
not good
buy
anymore.
it.
But it's there,
But it's
and it should be thrown away. And I was waiting to see if you would throw it away or
No,
not.
I don't
and if I said anything, you'd say, "Oh, it's only
Was
3
it-
weeks old."
Wait, was it opened?
Of course it was.
Oh, then okay, it has to be thrown.
Oh, see now when the spotlight's on her
No.
and the camera is on, the tune
No.
changes.
No.
I noticed. So
No.
anyway, we managed
If it was
I
open-
managed to live through that
You
without
might not
dying
live
of
through it
botulism.
tonight.
Yes. So anyway, now here's the big news that I found
Been
out.
eating again.
Here's the big news that I found out. Are you guys ready to
Bigger
have
than
your
that?
minds blown?
Ready.
Are you ready to be shaken to the core? Cha-cha.
I am.
I'm ready.
I'm actually looking forward to it.
All right, so are you aware that Barry Manilow did not write the songs? Let me detail this further. The song "I Write the Songs," he did not write that song.
Wow.
That
Really?
song was written by Bruce Johnston of the Beach Boys,
Wow.
and the first one to record it was Captain and Tennille. And then, Gina, you knew who had a mild hit with this? Before Barry, David Cassidy recorded this, and it was a minor hit for him.
No.
And it was like a number
I
2
write
in
the
England.
songs?
David.
I
No.
Write
Maybe
the
that's right.
Songs.
Was a number 2 hit for David Cassidy
In
in
Europe.
England.
In
Yes.
Europe?
Yeah. And
That's
you know,
why G
Barry.
didn't know.
before Barry, and then Barry took it, and our whole childhood is a lie. I feel at this point.
Wow.
I'm very hurt.
Exactly.
I'm
That I
deeply
thought he
saddened by
wrote that
this.
song, and that the whole thing. I write the songs.
Yes.
That makes the whole world sing.
Exactly.
But he really
maybe
did
why
write so
he's
many
album.
other songs. Why couldn't
Yeah,
he have written
maybe.
that
Who
one?
knows?
His first hit.
If his name really is
I
Barry
remember
Manilow.
he actually wrote like Kentucky Fried Chicken jingles.
Yes,
when
I
we
remember
were
that.
kids.
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
remember a lot of
And
jingles.
that dance show, Dick Clark show. What was the name
American
of that show?
Bandstand.
American Bandstand.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
And we're hopping.
Well, he was
You know what she's
actually
singing there.
American way.
Bette Midler's
Yep.
Yes.
piano player in the
Yeah.
bathhouses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was telltale.
Exactly.
Wow,
Yeah.
Did
that I
say
didn't know.
telltale?
Yeah. So how
So he
shocking
didn't
was
write
that?
that song.
Yes. So there you go. And it was
rip
Bruce
off.
Johnson, and he said it was like a religious song or something. I forget exactly what he said, but I don't know. I think he wrote it for God or something like that.
You
Inspired
sure
him.
this isn't fake news?
No,
You
this is
found
100%. I researched it thoroughly.
That's
You
shocking.
lie about expiration dates.
No, I do not.
Might be lying
So
about
anyone
this.
go out. You're free to
Wow.
check into this. So, so speaking of fake news, that since we're doing Elton John, this is the Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel that we have to report on what's going on in the world. That Elton John is doing his farewell tour, right? And over the summer, do you guys remember that Elton John had some trouble? So I'm going to read this Madhouse Magazine story of what happened to Elton on his recent tour. Wow. Here we go. From the Annals of Madhouse Magazine. Sir Elton John caused grievous bodily injury to a fan who repeatedly tried to touch him as he performed. The singer had invited a group from the audience to the stage at his Las Vegas residency show while performing Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. This immediately turned into a bad idea as one fan on stage threw Mardi Gras beads at Elton, hitting him in the face. Shocked and clearly appalled, John looks around the stage and was aided by the help of security while he checked his teeth to make sure that there wasn't too much damage. Elton then stormed off stage as another drunken buffoon continually leaned over the piano looking for a high five. So Elton immediately returned looking outraged, and as the high fiver ran towards him, Elton almost took the man's head off with a clothesline move. A clothesline, usually used in football and wrestling, is when someone extends an arm outward stiffly and hits the opposition in the throat. The drunken fan was on the ground, writhing in pain, as Elton climbed atop his piano and performed a flying elbow wrestling move to the man's neck.
Oh my God.
Apparently, Elton was very angry because course, when the man finally stumbled to his feet, Elton gave him a flying head scissors. Security was eventually able to pry Elton off the man. Elton then grabbed a pickaxe and chased the group of fans out of the arena. Elton continued on with the performance and commented to the crowd, "That is the last time I allow any of you morons on stage with me. You fat, stupid, smelly cretins ruined it for everyone. You effed it up. Thank God I am retiring. I hate you all." That was his final words.
Oh my gosh. That's
So now
crazy.
that was based on fact.
Right.
That some of that happened. Some of it may have been embellished.
embellishment.
There may have been embellishment, and that's what I want to talk about that too. It's
I
the
love-
He
funniest
does
thing.
throw tantrums.
He
Exactly.
He is known
and
for that.
someone
Yeah,
did
he's
throw
very-
Mardi Gras beads at him. There was a
somebody
whole
did,
bunch
but
of stuff
he's
going on. But
72 now.
Yes.
I don't know about the punch in the throat.
the flying
and
scissors,
And the
I think
flying-
the
I
flying
don't know
scissors
about
was
that.
true.
Who knew? He knew all those wrestling moves.
He was a big fan.
Yeah,
The
I
high
guess so.
five.
He wrote "Candle in the Wind" about Haystacks Calhoun. Did you know that?
Wow, that is great. I didn't know
you
that. I had no clue. Now it makes sense when I think about it.
see? So now this all comes into play. So now, we're going to play some songs now, as is the normal on this show. So let's start off with "All the Young Girls Love Alice," or as sometimes it's known as "All the Young Girls Love Bello," off of this album.
Oh,
and
here
then
we
we're
go.
going to play "No More Mr. Nice Guy" by Alice Cooper. See, that makes sense, right? Right into it.
Perfect.
All right, so we'll be right back here on 474 The Mix with the Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. Hey, welcome back. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. That was "All the Young Girls Love Alice," written about Alice Cooper, of course. And then "No More Mr. Nice Guy" by Alice
That's
Cooper.
what-
You see the tie-in there?
No, I didn't even know
Him and
that.
You
Alice
didn't know
Cooper were
that,
good
Bells?
friends.
No, I
yes.
had no clue.
And Elton and
was
Rod
just about a girl.
Stewart are very good friends, too.
Oh.
No, "All the Young Girls Love Alice." Doesn't
Well-
that make sense? Why would
But
they all
even in
love
there,
Alice?
it's a picture of a girl with blonde hair, if I remember correctly.
It's not an actual picture. That's a drawing.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? In my head, I was 6 years
in
old.
the middle of the two dikes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the thing. We got to
Yeah,
get to
so
that soon. I
that's
love all the
what I
artwork
always-
in here. and
That's
stuff,
what I
yeah.
always thought.
So,
that's
and
good to know.
Did you actually hear? There is truth to this, that Elton is mad at Rod Stewart. They've been friends for the longest time, but when Elton announced his farewell tour, Rod Stewart texted him and said, "Oh, again?" It's like his
that's
fifth
good.
farewell
That's
tour.
not nice.
Hello.
Yeah. Cher's
not
coming
nice.
back. Everybody's coming back
They all
again.
say farewell. They all come
Yeah,
back.
they
She
all come
looks
back.
younger now.
But I
She's
think it's
84.
I think it's now. This is it, really. When people say farewell, they mean farewell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
next-
next, it is so.
Next stop, the cemetery.
Sad to say, but-
Or the retirement home.
Or Florida.
But anyway, same thing. Same
Heaven's waiting
thing.
room.
right.
Cher's
right.
mother is still alive. Did you see that, Dennis?
Is that true?
Yeah, Cher's mother's still alive. She's
Cher's
like
mother's
90.
still alive.
And she looks like she's
Really?
about 45.
Georgia Holt.
Wow.
I never
didn't
even knew
see
about her
her.
till recently, yeah.
Aretha Franklin passed
Oh,
away.
yeah.
Of course, that was very
Yeah,
sad.
right.
But it was
Aretha.
the most, she was, of course, a legend, the Queen
she
of
was-
Soul. Such a nice woman, right? And, they had a big, gigantic funeral. It went on for like 3 days,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think. It was televised and preempted the Super Bowl. But the star of the funeral was, of course, Bill Clinton.
Oh, he's a
Did you
dirty
see
dog.
him?
He
It was the
is.
most unbelievable thing
He
that
didn't even
you would
pretend.
think this was just like a stranger at a strip club, but no,
Oh,
it's an
I
ex-president
heard about
sitting
it.
at a funeral that's televised in the front row, leering. You remember?
It was
You remember
awesome.
how Homer used to act when he would think about donuts, and he had the drool coming out of his mouth.
Yes.
He'd go, donuts.
Oh,
that was
no.
Bill Clinton
Wow.
standing in the front row, salivating over this Ariana
Yeah,
Grande.
I heard
It was
My
so. I didn't
really-
see it.
yeah.
That
Wow,
was hysterical. And just
And everybody noticed.
right.
I mean, it's
Can you
not
imagine
like-
though? Imagine that night when he got home.
Yeah, huh?
How do you think Hillary
I
reacted to
don't
that
know.
one?
I think she's so sick to death.
No, but
of
it's
it.
still he could do it in his privacy, I guess. But to be
Yeah,
on
I
television,
guess.
Oh, man.
that embarrasses
Yeah.
her, I guess.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
who knows? But
Who knows?
Wild Bill, still horny
Wild
at age
Bill.
75,
Yeah.
however old he is. Yeah.
Sicko.
He
It was
had a big,
hysterical.
at the funeral, he had a big smile on his
Yeah, right. And,
face.
and then right in the front row, the who's who, you have Al Sharpton and Farrakhan, and there was another
Who's
preacher.
who? Give me a break.
Who's who of creepiness.
That's
And
true. Right.
did you see that other thing? That poor Ariana
Yes, I
Grande.
saw that. They grabbed
she's
her,
been
right?
groped. The preacher came in, he grabbed her boob.
Yeah,
And it was,
I mean,
That was a big thing.
It was
I
like a
thought you were
Me
gonna talk
Too
about
convention
that.
right there.
Oh,
My
man.
goodness. It was,
yeah.
Shame.
it was out of
They-
control.
Ridiculous. The poor kid. That's
Yeah, right.
ridiculous.
Yeah, she's
they had to
young.
close the
She's-
lid before Clinton went after the casket. Anyway, and then of course,
actually.
Burt Reynolds passed away.
Oh.
The 70s
Yeah,
superstar, the icon
wow.
of the 70s. Who was more iconic in the 70s than him? He was on every talk show. He was so
Yeah.
good on Johnny Carson show, and of course his movies, and of course the number one movie of the 70s. I think might have been 73. It
shut
came
up.
out. Of course, Deliverance.
Oh, yeah.
Cha-Cha refused to watch with me.
No, she won't watch it.
Refuse.
Yeah, right.
Really?
Did
I
you
hear
ever see
the
it?
sound and I run.
Did you ever see it though?
Not the whole thing. No.
You ran out at that point.
Yeah, it just felt wrong from the beginning.
What a
But-
great movie.
It was a great movie,
Oh,
and it
stop
changed
it.
the way you look at
Come
the
on.
woods, the way you look at
Yeah,
banjos.
I'm
That
good.
Bello gets a chill up his
Yes.
spine whenever he hears
You know
the
what I
banjo
heard
going.
over the summer?
What?
The kid playing banjo in that thing.
Uh-huh.
He couldn't play the banjo. That
Right,
was it,
exactly.
right?
It was
And
like
when you think
someone's
about it, of
arms
course
coming
it wasn't
through
him. The poor guy. Look what he looked like. There's no way he had the talent to play the banjo. But it just never, I never even thought about it until I heard it. I was like, of course
And
not.
the funny thing is that guy is not retarded at all. That I saw him in interviews and stuff.
Oh,
He's
wow.
grown up. He's a perfectly normal guy.
Wow.
Can you use the
Every
word?
way.
Can you use that word?
Probably not, but
Probably not, but
what are you
just
gonna do? Probably can't talk about some Bill Clinton jumping into
Yes.
Aretha's coffin either. But
Necrophilia. Right,
on this
that's-
show, everything goes.
Yes.
We're back
That-
then.
Yeah, we're in the 70s. That's right.
Oh, that's right.
Good,
Right.
good.
Anyway, I want to talk about some of the concerts that I went to over the summer. I had a brush with greatness. You guys don't know about this. I went to the Jethro Tull concert recently, and I was in the VIP waiting area because I'm a big shot.
Yes.
Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour gives you the perks. So I'm in the VIP waiting area, waiting to go on. And who comes in? Bruce Willis and Hank Azaria.
Wow.
Do you know who these guys are?
Awesome.
Hank Azaria was all the voices on The Simpsons,
Yeah.
and he's been in tons of movies. I
Yeah.
can't think off the top of my head, but we'll Google that. We now have a computer here to Google
Nice,
things if you
nice.
want.
Oh.
So I was making chit chat with him, and
Did you recognize him right away?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
I recognized both of them right
Awesome.
away, and I behaved myself. I didn't act like a
Starstruck.
Star Trek
Fan.
Right.
teenager. I was
Hank
like,
Azaria
sup?
was really that one season of Ray Donovan. Isn't that him?
who did he play?
He played the guy. Oh.
Wasn't he the servant in Birdcage?
Yes,
Yes,
I
he
know,
was,
absolutely.
but-
Well, anything.
Yeah, no.
You guys can look
Their
that up on
houseboy.
your own. But anyway, he was
Very
there.
cool.
And then Bruce Willis, during the show, Bruce Willis came in, sat 2 rows in front of me in the dark. Nobody recognized him but me. And I just...
Was he with
Yeah.
a girl or?
No, he was with some, like an entourage of goofy guys.
Oh,
And Azario was with a girl.
nice.
And it was not
He's
his
got
wife,
game.
though.
Oh.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't know his wife.
Wasn't he married to
That's
Helen
awesome.
Hunt or something?
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
that
he
was
Yes.
Paul Reiser, wasn't
No.
it? No,
That
I
was
have no
in the
idea.
show.
Show.
That was his wife in the show.
You're right.
Yeah, I think.
Ah, good stuff, Dan.
Yes. So, and very exciting for Bello, though, that I went to see
Yes.
the Grateful Dead. My first experience, any shape or form, in a Grateful Dead. It wasn't the Grateful Dead, but it was Phil Lesh and friends, who's the bass player of the Grateful Dead. And I went to Central Park.
I heard you got
So-
converted. 'Cause
Yes,
you
I
said,
did.
You said you're starting
and
to
that
love the
I
dead
am
now.
I'm considering myself a deadhead now. Bello.
Awesome.
That
I
as I
love
get
to hear
older,
this.
I let go of all my hang-ups,
Right.
and it was a little too mellow as I was causing havoc in Queens, but now, as I'm older and mellowing, I'm starting to appreciate it. I'm listening to the music, and I was enjoying the vibe there. Some guy passed out right in front of me. It was great, yeah. And it was funny. Like, when I first got to Central Park, I didn't know where to go, and I said, all right, I'll probably follow that mushroom cloud of marijuana smoke, and that's where it will be.
Follow the tie-dye.
Yes, and it was a very good show. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm now a Dead fan.
I'd love to hear
Did you ever go... Because I always love Grateful Dead music, of course.
Right.
It's just, all that stuff. But did you ever see the Dead with Jerry Garcia?
No, I didn't start seeing them till... I always loved them when I was a kid, but I didn't start seeing them till it was, Dead and Company or The Dead when it was The Dead.
Although I'm not a fan of John Maya or Maya.
Yeah, I haven't even seen that yet. He does know a lot about them and stuff like that. It
so
makes
do
me happy,
but I shouldn't be on
Chris
there either.
Robinson was good.
Yes.
Chris Robinson used to play with it. That I liked.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen the Mayor guy, so I shouldn't say.
Coldplay.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. The guy from the Black Crowes.
Oh, sorry. Wrong guy.
The other guy's name is Chris, too, though.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I love them very much.
Yes.
And I'm glad you do too now.
Yes.
Like to hear that.
So, all right. So, Cha-Cha, what else did you want to talk about? while we're
Nothing.
here?
Nothing.
Let's talk about
God.
the
No,
album.
I don't want to. Oh.
What do you mean?
You were frightened. Scared.
Because we got a lot of stuff to get
What,
to.
babe?
I
What?
don't know, but let's talk a little bit about Elton John now.
Let's.
So now, as we normally do, we discuss an album, and this is a classic album. Like I said, we're all doing classics this year, and what could be better than Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, one of the greatest albums ever recorded. Now, I just want to say something about this album, that if civilization lasts another 10 billion years, there will never be a piece of art, a recorded piece of music that will rival this in any shape or form. That no one, if we make touch with the aliens and they start producing music, things we can't even understand, nothing will ever be as good as this album. Is everyone in agreement with that?
Totally.
Yep.
Yes. And this may be Elton's masterpiece, that he was so prolific during this time. You want to know how prolific he was?
Wow.
How prolific was he?
That he actually couldn't release one of the singles off of it because the album was so good, and an album came out right before it, and an album was coming out the next year as well. So this was carrying over and interfering with the next album that he wanted to release. Wow. So Harmony never got the accolades that it so deserves.
That's the word.
Really?
Yeah, that is such a
because
great
Didn't
they
get
were
the
like,
respect it
I
deserved.
want to release this.
Yeah,
I want to
so
release
good.
this. And it's like, no, you got another album coming out tomorrow.
good.
He's like, what? So anyway, let's talk about this album now. It was recorded, originally, they tried to record it in Jamaica, right? Because the Rolling Stones, did you know Steven's Jamaican? Jamaican me crazy. Every time we say Jamaica, we gotta say that
All
joke.
right.
Yeah. So anyway, they started because Rolling Stones recorded Goat's Head Soup in Jamaica, and Elton said, "Oh, let me go to Jamaica. Let's see what's happening in Jamaica." It was the worst mistake he ever made. That it was terrible. The studio was terrible, breaking down. All the equipment was terrible. They had the worst time, and they said, "All right, screw this. We're going to France."
Oh,
And
that's fun.
it
So
was
maybe that song that they have on there has something to do with that.
Which one?
Jamaican. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it.
Oh yeah, Jamaican J.O.
Yeah. You think that's what he's talking about?
Maybe. That's
never thought
hysterical.
about
I never
that.
even thought about
Wow.
that too.
Wow.
You know what J.O. stands for? I'll tell you later. So anyway, it was recorded at a place called the Chateau de Horreville in France. Yeah, exactly. Easy for you to say. So, and I was watching like a documentary on this about the making of this album, how they were all living in this studio. It's like an old house in the French countryside.
Yeah.
And bonjour. And they were all like living in this house, right? So they would wake up in the morning, they'd have breakfast. As they're having breakfast, Bernie Taupin would be writing lyrics. He would hand them to Elton. The other guys would be finishing breakfast. Elton would go in the other room. He'd come back. They had recorded Benny and the Jets.
Wow.
They'd go after breakfast. They'd go to the studio. They recorded Benny and the Jets within like an hour. Now it takes 19 months to come up with
a single.
Wow.
the worst songs you can imagine. So
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
right, that every day. This whole thing was recorded in 2 weeks.
Right.
And 17 tracks here recorded in 2 weeks. Every song. See, that's what I love so much about this album. That it's it's kind of like the Yankees when they win the World Series. Well, sorry, I don't want to bring that up. Yeah. We got 2 Met fans here.
Yeah.
But the same thing with the Mets, that the best baseball teams have great utility players. So even the lesser known songs on here are great.
They're great.
That if they were on someone else's
B-sides.
album, right, you know, that there's so many good songs. Danny Bailey, for example, and
It's raw. The whole
Social
album is
Disease.
raw. It's
Yes,
great.
everything about it is amazing. And let's name some of these songs, all right? You ready? Cha-Cha's favorite. Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding. 11 minutes or so of pure amazingness.
Yep.
Yeah.
That it's a 11-minute song with no drum solo. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And
like
you got I
Layla
heard
or something.
this awesome thing. They had like a little clip of Elton sitting at the piano playing Funeral for a Friend just by himself. And
be
imagine being in that
incredible.
room where Elton's just sitting there playing Funeral for a Friend.
Yeah.
Yes, I think if I had a time machine, that's where I would go.
That's where you would go?
Yes, I wouldn't go back
Totally.
to shoot Hitler or nothing
No.
like that. I'd go back
Just to the acoustic
Just to
version
sit
of
there.
all these songs.
and listen. Yeah, see, you can't mess with things like that, history. So
Right.
I just want to go
Yeah.
observe and listen. I don't want to interfere.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So then what else we got? Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting.
that
This
was
was
one
the
I liked.
actual only one. No. I'm not sure if it was this or Benny and the Jets, but one of those songs was actually recorded in Jamaica, and it was so terrible they threw it away and they redid it here.
redid it.
So Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. What a classic that is,
that's
right?
Great guitar work.
Yes,
That's good stuff.
absolutely.
How did it work? Did Bernie
And Davies
Taupin...
with him how many years?
Yes.
Over 45 years.
Right, Gina, can you name the original band from that time recorded this album? Let's see.
Nigel Olsson, Davy
Drums.
Johnstone, Dee Murray.
Very good. And who played the piano and sang?
Mr. Elton John. Reginald Dwight.
Very
Mr.
good.
Dwight.
Now, here's a trivia question. Does anyone know who the producer was on this album?
Sturgeon.
Let's hear it for Gina.
Yes.
She's on fire.
She deserves
Very good.
a
Gus
round.
Dudgeon, whatever his name is. Dudgeon. All right, anyway. And you know what else happened in Jamaica? Why they had to get out of there because it was so bad? That the Joe Frazier Muhammad Ali fight was taking place. No, Joe Frazier George Foreman.
Okay.
And it
Channel
was,
7.
And it was
Wide World of
political
Sports.
tension and poor economic situation. It was they almost got shot.
Really?
So yeah. So
I don't know why I laughed at that.
yeah. What else? Harmony. Gee, I really love ya.
But I want
That's the first song I danced to with Sal.
Pretty good.
Wow,
Smoke
Gee is always.
Sally Boy.
Sally Boy.
That's
Wanted
good
his
stuff
baseball
there.
cards.
So I'm gonna have to go through all of these songs.
Is
Keep it
that
down, you two.
Right, Sal? I hope you're
euphemism?
listening.
Cha cha.
Yes, honey.
I'm naming the songs.
Sorry.
I don't like talking when I'm naming the songs.
What does that even mean?
That's from the Twilight Zone.
Oh, okay.
When the little kid puts everybody in the
Oh,
cornfield.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I don't like talking when the music's playing.
Oh, okay. Little Billy Mummy.
Yes,
That's-
exactly.
Yeah, baby.
You guys are so good.
Yes.
This is nothing but biggies, Cha Cha. All right, Benny and the Jets. What a great song that is.
Yep.
Electric Boots. Mohair Suit.
Yeah.
I read it in a magazine. All right, let's open up the inside here.
Okay.
That's
And
what's the
let's
best with the
Talk about
all the
this
lyrics. I
artwork
love
and the
those
lyrics.
albums with the lyrics and
See
stuff.
now, Cha-Cha, look at that little guy up there. You see
What
where it says
little guy?
Jamaica up here?
Wait, where? Oh yeah,
Right
of course.
there.
That's what
That's-
JO stands for.
Ah.
All right, so
Okay.
and like I said, Goodbye
love
Yellow
it.
Brick Road, the song itself,
Yeah,
awesome
right,
song,
right.
an amazing song.
Yeah, what a great
and
one.
Gray Seal, of course, Candle in the Wind. Oh my God, what a great song that was.
Right.
Absolutely, and like I said,
Sister
even these
Can
songs,
Twist.
Sister Can
Oh,
Twist,
my
Roy
God.
Rogers. Every song is amazing.
listening to it the
It's
other
a
night.
gatefold. Look at this, with
Yeah,
all
that
these pictures
was
and
my
everything.
favorite.
One song
I love
better
the
than
albums
the
that had the
next.
lyrics in it.
Exactly,
Listen.
it's pure
How did it work?
genius.
Did Bernie Taupin write all the lyrics?
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
Elton, that, right?
That's why they
Elton wrote the
were.
music.
And
They
Elton did the
were
music.
the best songwriting
Yes.
team, the pure
Ever,
songwriting
Right.
team
think, right?
ever, because everyone else, they mixed and matched. Like the Beatles, for example, they wrote their own songs.
Right.
It was very rare that they sat down in a room and wrote a song together. It's like, oh, can you add a part here, Paul? John, I need a lyric here. Help me out here. And they did, collaborate a lot. But it wasn't lyrics and music. Same thing with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. They did a lot of that too.
Collaboration.
But
you're right.
Yeah, so
Bernie would just strictly write the
exactly,
and the words are so awesome.
Yes.
He's a wordsmith, I guess you would say.
And did you know he was not really a big Marilyn Monroe fan? He said that was just he used her, picked her out, and said that's just a euphemism for stardom, really. In general. So I hate to blow that for you, Cha-Cha, even though I have my Marilyn Monroe cup here.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's got to be a great show, right? With the Donald Duck outfit he used to wear. He used to come out with the crazy
that
outfits.
Night in Central Park with my then boyfriend Greg.
Wow, you got around.
I got around.
All right. Question.
And we'll talk about that. And we slept in Central Park that night. And we
Which night? When he had the free concert?
Central Park. Yeah, free concert. Donald Duck suit.
Okay.
That was the day he came out.
Nice.
And that morning we woke up and we were getting pushed towards the front of the stage.
Wow, you woke up being
We were
pushed.
right there. It was crazy, the crowds.
Man,
it was really scary.
Jeez.
But it was some show.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Very nice.
And I was on Greg's shoulders most of the concert.
Wow, that must have been awesome for Greg.
Yeah.
Where's Greg now?
Long Island, musician, guitarist, married, cool dude. One of my
Very
close
nice.
friends. Love him to death. Actually gave me my picture disc of Captain Fantastic.
All right, so let's look at Gina's stuff here.
Yes,
So as you can see right in the table in front of us, for those playing along on the television, you can look. On the radio, you're out of luck.
No,
You'll have to use theater of the mind, as Cousin Brucey used to say. So Gina has this awesome Elton John candle from 1973, which she forbade anyone from ever lighting. Imagine some jerk that lit that up.
My brother did. Look at his head. He's singed.
He's singed. Very cool.
Thanks,
that
Chris.
is the coolest.
Yeah, that is an awesome candle.
So
But
good.
yes, this was in my room.
That was in your childhood room all
Yes,
these years?
that was.
Very cool.
And isn't that awesome when you keep stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Still have posters.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring all those. But
I see you got your Elton John shirt on, and what else you got here?
And this is from
Look at
Greg.
how cool that is.
The picture
nice.
disc of Captain Fantastic.
Wow,
I gotta
look
bring
at
it in
that.
this
Come on,
way.
bring it in.
Yeah, don't let
Awesome.
Captain
That was the first
Fantastic
album
picture
I ever
disc.
got.
Really?
Yeah.
Captain Fantastic?
My brother bought it for my birthday. I think
And
he
you
bought it for himself.
put it
And
in the
you know what I mean?
That's the way it
I was
always
8,
happened back
yeah.
then.
In my music room, so,
But look at that.
I mean,
That's
That
awesome.
was so great about all the albums.
Exactly.
Back
Look
then.
at that
Right?
artwork.
The artwork and all the
Who did the
lyrics.
artwork? Did we know? Like, was it
was-
someone
That's
famous?
almost like the Mad
Oh,
Magazine drawings. That
Exactly.
particular
It wasn't-
album.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
bet you it's the
Staring
same
at the-
characters.
At both
Same
albums.
dudes.
I know,
Yes.
this is
See,
very
that's the thing.
interesting.
That's what I recall about so much about this album.
Right.
Sitting in my brother's room,
Reading.
listening to this album,
Yeah.
and just spending hours. There's so much to look at and stuff. I never got bored of it. I
Right.
could just sit there every time. I'm going to do this right after the show. I'm going to the
Yes.
other room. I'm going to
Yes.
sit there and stare at
Right.
this while I listen to the album.
I'm trying to teach my son that. I'm trying to get, but like
I don't
how,
think
what
that's
that
something you
was
can
like.
teach. Kids today are too.
But I'm getting them albums.
technologically advanced.
I
So
just got him
true.
"Shake Your Booty." Remember that one? It had
Of
the same
course,
kind of
Frank
thing.
Zappa.
All the lyrics and everything. You know what I mean? The same kind of thing.
That's
Same
amazing.
principle.
Amazing stuff.
Yes, good stuff.
So, all right, we're actually we got to play some more songs. We're running out of stuff here, so let's take another break to play some songs here. Oh wait, no, first we gotta. Well, we'll play the songs and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, how about that, Cha-Cha?
Sounds good.
All right, so now we're gonna play "Redneck Friend" by Jackson Brown and "Harmony" by Elton John, and
One
we'll
of
be
my
right
favorites.
back.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour 474 The Mix. And you just heard Redneck Friend by Jackson Brown and Harmony by Elton John. And the reason I played this Jackson Brown song is because he was recently in the news too. Madhouse Magazine featured him prominently because he received the Gandhi Award for his lifetime of peace and everything. But there he...
Daryl Hannah stuff. What about that?
Oh.
Well, and this makes... No. Neil Young just married her.
What?
Neil Young married Daryl Hannah 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yes, I swear.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
But right, didn't he used to beat her up?
Well, that was
That was
alleged.
rumored,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's no truth to it. But here we go. He was at this ceremony, this Gandhi peace ceremony, a week or
He
so
won an
ago.
award.
And yes, a very prestigious award. But he ran into trouble as he ended up getting into a fist fight at the ceremony. So this looks bad. But anyway, it took place in New Haven, Connecticut. Musician Jackson Browne was honored Friday night for a lifetime of activism by promoting enduring peace. Browne was given the Gandhi Award, which previously went to Eleanor Roosevelt, Dr. Martin Luther King, Dr. Benjamin Spock, Gigi Allen, and Al Capone, among others. Everything was all kumbaya until after the event. After the ceremony, Browne 69 stopped to use the men's room. A fan, Justin Jameson, was using the urinal next to Browne and tried to strike up a conversation with the singer. Jameson asked Browne for an autograph and a handshake. Browne told the man, "This is certainly not the time or place for such a request," but the man persisted. Browne lost it when Jameson farted in his direction.
Oh, no.
The guy was a total jackass, said Browne. I saw red when this jerk farted in my direction and then waved it towards me with his hand.
Oh, wow.
Who does that?
Yeah, really?
Browne kneed the man in the groin repeatedly and then jammed his head into the toilet. Browne flew into a rage, tearing a sink out of the wall, and then bit the man's ear off. Browne was seen leaving the venue with the ear still in his mouth and blood on his lips. When asked if this incident would jeopardize Browne's Peace Award, promoting enduring peace chairman Babu Bhatt commented, "F no, mother effer. You don't talk to a man in the mother effing bathroom. You don't ask for an autograph. You definitely don't shake his hand. I say we give Jackson Browne a second Peace Award for taking a piece of that jerk's ear off."
Wow.
So there you go.
That's amazing.
Let's hear it for Jackson Browne.
Crazy.
No scissor move.
So
This is a move.
now I just have to go and say that when you read that, would you believe that was actually happening? That
Of course not. It's
Now, the
ridiculous.
Jackson Browne fans are the thinnest-skinned
yeah.
people in the world that you have no idea what commotion, because I like to rile people up, if you don't know.
Yeah.
And that
What did you get for this?
I joined lots of Jackson Browne groups, and I share this story to them on social media, and I say, "Oh man, look what happened!" And they go out of their mind. They're cursing me. They're like, "Why would you share such a thing? You're an idiot. This magazine's stupid. You're stupid." And I never comment back.
Not nice.
I just ignore them, and
Right.
I go back. I sit back eating my popcorn. Right, right. So then one group went out of control, took it down. And then I was
Yeah.
reading the next day that admins of the group resigned, that there was such an uproar.
Cause a revolt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But don't they remember Mad Magazine?
No,
Back
apparently.
in the
That's the
day?
thing.
That's
Oh,
like the humor
that's
of
beautiful.
it.
Exactly.
They
And
don't
it's just
get
like
it.
the mellower the fan, the more crazy
Yeah.
they are about
Yeah.
stuff like this. You'd think they'd be laid back,
Sounds
but
like the world today.
like the Rolling
Right.
Stones fan, or they laugh hysterical.
Yeah.
Kiss, Metallica, anybody. Very few people. But you know who took it even worse than Jackson Browne fans?
Who?
The worst fans of all were Jimmy Buffett fans.
Oh,
gosh.
yeah, they.
The
I'll read
parody.
that story at another time. But the headline was, "Jimmy Buffett attacks a police horse with a shovel." And he said the reason why was because the horse was looking at him.
Oh, well.
They went so berserk that I was actually
my God.
banned. I was banned from social media for a week for this.
Oh, yes. I remember that. I remember you got it.
Such a
Oh my
rebel.
God, we're gonna lose the house.
Yes. Well, what about Billy Idol? Actually, loved his
Yes,
story.
Billy
right?
Idol
Billy
retweeted
love-
it.
Yeah, we love you,
That's
Billy.
proud of
You
that.
have a sense of humor.
Of course, yes. That's what you got to do. You got to
Oh my
laugh at
God.
these guys. So, all right. So let's get back to wrap up this album here. That it was the 7th studio album by Elton John. It sold over 30 million copies worldwide and is regarded as one of John's best. It went to #1 on the Billboard charts. What more can be said than #1? Can't get better than #1, can you?
No.
Steven likes
probably
number
at the
2,
best.
but that's a whole nother story. I don't even know what that means.
I do.
Sounds
it's
funny. So, you got any
German
jokes? That's it.
porn
That's all I got
everywhere.
about the album. Gina, would you like to share anything, your memories of this album?
First album I ever bought.
Really?
Awesome.
Well, I'm lying. It was Partridge Family.
Oh, okay.
So I
This
saved
was
up
your
all my
first
My first
rock and roll album.
rock.
Yeah,
Okay, there you
the
go.
Transition. And of course, mother and father were like, "What's with the artwork?
Yeah.
What's going on? The title of that song?" So
Yeah.
till today, they do blame my own sexuality
On Elton John.
On
See?
Elton.
There
Wow.
you
that
go.
it was a big influence. I'm like, no.
That,
I don't know how that
No,
works.
that didn't happen.
that my
Yeah.
my mother blamed every single thing that happened on the Beatles.
On the Beatles?
What you listened to?
Everything in the entire world, not just what I did. Of course, it was me. It was the Beatles,
so
of course.
Beatles.
But the entire world situation, everything was nice until those Beatles came over here.
I guess.
It's kind of true.
Yeah.
But you know what else happened?
The Charles
right about
Manson
the same
stuff.
thing. I was born the same year the Beatles came here. So what actually changed the world for the worse?
Yes.
Could have been me.
That's debatable.
Could have been the
Could have
Beatles. Who knows?
Oh,
but
what a
anyway,
shame.
everything was so nice. We had some Pat Boone, and that was it. And Liberace.
Bing Crosby.
Oh, wait, you went to Liberace. I remember
sure
that story.
did.
Yeah. Was that a punishment?
No, that was
oh.
just because I was dragged along. You know my
Yeah,
story because I
no,
was
I
so much
know.
younger
I
than all
forget
the
what
rest
was
of
the
them.
punishment.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they couldn't leave me alone because I would burn the house down.
Right,
Right.
that's
So
true.
I had to be
No.
dragged to every stupid event that they went to.
They weren't stupid.
Yes, absolutely. So, Bello and Cha-Cha, you have anything you'd like to share with us about this album, Elton John?
I have a little joke.
Sure, we
that
love
I
jokes.
Remembered the other day. What do you call Batman sneaking out of church? Christian Bale.
That's good.
So stupid, but so funny. It's like two
Wait,
jokes in one.
What? What?
use it. I'm
I
gonna
don't
use
get
it,
it.
fellas.
Explain that a little to me.
Well, he's a Christian and he's bailing out. You know what I mean?
But
But,
what
his
happened-
name is Christian Bale. He's the
Oh,
Batman. You
'cause
know
he
what I mean?
played
He played
Batman.
Batman.
Oh.
It's a brilliant joke.
See, it's a good joke.
We're still stuck on Adam West.
Right,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah,
That's
right.
the only
I know.
Batman I know.
That was our
See,
favorite, of
I
course.
I knew Christian Bale was an actor. I didn't know he played
Oh,
Batman.
okay, yeah.
So,
He played Batman.
There you go.
Yeah.
You didn't know that either, Cha-Cha.
I put two and two
She
together.
sure did. She got 4, baby.
That's good.
So let me check over my notes to see if there was anything else I wanted to discuss before we wrap this up. I don't think so. I think we went through a lot of stuff. We're going to
think
probably
so,
have to cut
too,
out a
I
lot to
think,
go down.
yeah.
But this was a good show. It was good to get
Very
the band
nice.
back together.
Yes, yes.
4 originals. Haven't seen you guys all summer. And that was the beauty of this show, you know, that who knows where this road will take us. But it's too much work for me to do for free. So someone better start paying me, and then maybe I'll come back for another season. So get your checkbooks out,
Any sponsors?
chumps. Madhouse Magazine demands money. I'm a big shot.
Yes.
Live from Dennis's house, you got for free. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour is going to cost you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're big shots.
yes, we're big shots. Don't you forget that. So, that's it. That's all we got here. Now, this is going to be the final tour. Remember that, the farewell tour. So, you better watch each and every episode. You never know what's going to happen here on Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour featuring...
Are we doing this
Funny
again?
how I crack myself up each time. I'm definitely
Maybe
the,
you will pay yourself.
I am the funniest person I know. That's all I have to say.
That's true.
Oh my
I
god.
say that as well.
You say you're the funniest person
No,
you know,
you.
or
I talk
I'm the
about you.
funniest
I
person
talk
you know.
about you.
Okay, there you
I
go.
think
You
I'm
crack
actually
me up.
funnier than you are.
Remember you said you were going to do a show by yourself one time?
No, I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
you did say that.
Did you?
I think you were going to do it
You
with
challenged
Oh,
me.
I'm there.
All right, we're going to do Boys versus Girls show. Next time,
Okay.
we're going to do our show, and you're going to do your show. And then we're going to have everybody vote
Could be
on the
interesting.
Jackson Brown support group on social media.
me. Mine's going to be a nice show.
A nice
Yeah, we can talk about
I'm going to invite
hair
all
and
of
makeup.
Gina's boyfriends.
Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah, that would be good. It'd be,
room
this
in
is
the
your
studio.
life, Gina.
Yeah.
This is your
You don't
life.
want to hear that convo.
Oh, that would be awesome. The conga line of men from Staten Island and Brooklyn.
She wanted his baseball
the
guy.
Verrazano and Outer Bridge will be backed up that day. All right, so get on the Madhouse Magazine bandwagon. It's going to be a great season. We're pulling no punches, or what is it? Pulling no stops, holding no punches.
Something like that.
We're doing something.
Pulling no punches.
Yeah, that's it. And
Pulling
we're-
out all the stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bella's got a whole bunch of jokes.
Yeah,
And
I'm
Gina's going to
ready.
bring all her memorabilia this time.
Nice.
So we don't even know what we're going to do next week, but we know we're going to do something. So let's play some songs as we're going to go up. We're going to play Cracked Actor by David Bowie, also from 1973. And we're going to close the show off with Jamaica Jerk Off by Elton John off
Said
of
it.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Said it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty tame to say that now. It's the name of the song.
Right.
You know, so what can you do? And then we're going to do the Artist of the Month. So we'll see you next time. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour, 474 The Mix. Check out madhousemagazine.com if you want to see some hilarious stories like those we just read. Now let's hear it for us. Good show. Good show. Really good show.
Nice. Good job.